Hey, the days are getting closer to the event that we have been talking to you about with Kutless, and it is with Jon Micah Sumrall. We've got new opening acts, a whole lot of things to tell you about, and how you might be able to even get some meet and greet passes. Jon Micah Sumrall with us. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. Yeah.
Now, last time that we talked about this concert coming up on Sunday night, we knew about the concept and why you were doing it, but we didn't have a lot of the details. But before we get into some of the details, and you can go to our Facebook page and sign up for possibly being able to win some meet and greet backstage passes. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Give us an idea. This concert coming up Sunday night, the purpose behind it, first of all, is what?
Yeah, the whole reason that we're doing this event, we started a nonprofit evangelistic ministry called End of the Age Ministries, or EOTA Ministries, and we just want to facilitate an opportunity for people to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and that's why this event is free, for people to come out. We want them to come out, bring their friends, bring their family members, everybody they know, and not have to necessarily buy tickets for everybody, because we just want everyone to come out and hear the gospel. And so, yes, Kutless will be there. We'll be performing. We'll be rocking out, having a good time. But in the middle of the night, we're also going to present a gospel message. And we have a brand new app that we'll be rolling out this weekend that we're really excited about, that's going to facilitate some follow-up discipleship following the event. So that's really what this event is about. It's about sharing the gospel, seeing people come to Christ, and hopefully continue to grow in their faith.
All right, now this is happening Sunday night at Lithia Amphitheater outside, and we've been looking at the weather forecast. It's going to be nice.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's going to be hot, actually, probably.
But probably by the
sun
time
goes
you guys
down,
hit the stage,
it'll be perfect.
Okay, so the details are what happens something at 6, right? The gates open at 6?
Gates open at 6 o'clock. So a lot of people have been asking, well, what about tickets? There's no tickets because it's free. So basically, if you get there early, you get the best seats in the house.
All right. Now, if you go to our webpage, we've got some meet and greet tickets to be able to give away. So you can sign up for that. So go to the theDove website, Facebook page on there, and be sure to sign up for that. That'll happen. And then the concert starts at 7:30. And, of course, you guys are going to be taking to the stage a little later than that, because we've got a couple opening acts. Derek Minor and Jesse Lawson. Tell us about them. Yeah,
we're excited. First, Jesse Lawson, he lives here in Southern Oregon as well. He was in a really well-known mainstream band for a while called Sleeping with Sirens. They did Warped Tour and a bunch of those kinds of tours and things like that. But he ended up leaving that band a few years ago, and he's a believer, and he's been helping us out with this event, helping us get some guitar amps and things like that. And so we were like, man, you know, he does some solo music as well, and so he just really wanted to help in any way he could. So he offered to play a few songs at the beginning of the night, which we're really excited about. I really think there's a lot of people that are probably familiar with his old band that hopefully will come out and listen to him perform and stick around. And then the next artist is Derek Minor. He's a hip-hop artist from Tennessee, and he's actually on our same booking agency that Kutless that we work with, and so our agency's been trying to get us to tour together forever, and we're like, hey, let's do this event together. Yeah.
So it all came together.
Yeah. So it's great. So if if you like guys like Lecrae and Tadashi and Tripoli and some of those guys, he's right in that same vein of kind of all those different hip hop artists. So he's high energy, a lot of fun. It'll be great having him. So he'll be second, and then we'll have a quick changeover, and then Kutless will be up there. We'll be rocking out and jumping around, and then about midway through our set, we'll present the gospel, ask people to respond to the gospel, and we'll close out the night.
That is terrific. Well, you know, Lithia Amphitheater, I think it's one of the best outside concert venues you can have, because, first of all, it's not a huge stadium that is just so massive that you're standing in the back. You know, you're up there and you're able to see everything. And when we've had concerts there before, we've had a lot of people who show up ahead of time, head out, and then you can sit on the lawn if you haven't been there before, or you can sit in the chairs too. And this is wild, no tickets. So if you don't have a ticket, you can go to where normally front row gold seating is.
Yeah,
right?
Normally those front seats are really expensive.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to do an open floor too, so we should have
an open floor.
Yeah, down front where.
Is that what we used to call mosh pits?
Yeah, where you can come down all the way to the front. Yeah, and so a crowd can be right there, really close to the stage.
That's great.
So yeah, just first come, first served. Gates open at 6. So.
All right. Now, I think the motivation behind this is really the key thing. Now, this is also happening at the end of the rodeo. So you might have some rodeo people coming in that have been to the rodeo, and they'll head over to the concert too.
Yeah, we have a video.
There could be a lot of people showing up to this.
Yeah, we have a video spot that we'll be playing at the rodeo all weekend. You know, there's a big LED screen that's up there. So throughout the weekend, with the different events going on. They'll be playing our spot, promoting this event Sunday
Cool.
night. So we're hoping to bring some, I mean, they've already been out there Thursday through Saturday, so either they'll be beat and go straight home, or they'll be like, hey, what's one more night? This would be awesome. So we're hoping they'll stick around and come out to this event as well.
All right, so let me just give you the details again, just in case you have to go somewhere for some reason, because we're going to get into the motivation behind this in a minute. But this is happening this Sunday. It all starts at 7:30, but you want to get there when the gates open at 6. That would be terrific. Get the seating that you want there. And then it's Kutless is the main act, and opening Derek Miner and Jesse Lawson. Now, the End of the Age Ministries that you are associated with, the concept is you wanted to tie this in with what's happening here, especially after the rodeo. It just really worked out really well. And it being a free concert, why? Because normally free concerts don't really happen. But you want to be able to talk to people that you perhaps don't normally have as an audience, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's tricky because obviously an event like this is not free to put on. It costs a lot of money. There's big speakers and lighting and marketing costs, and there's a lot going. We're flying people in from all over the country here to be here for this. Our guys and Derek's guys, and I mean there's a lot going on, and so there is a very high expense to putting on an event like this. What's been fantastic though is we've been able to go to churches and individuals throughout the Rogue Valley and say, hey, here's what we want to do for this valley. Would you be willing to join with us and link arms and support this to make this happen? And so just because of the generosity of some of the local churches, of some local individuals here in the Rogue Valley, some key people that have really stepped up and said, hey, we want to see this happen in the Rogue Valley. They've essentially financed this event, which is super cool. We're also going to Ukraine in August. So we'll be over there. We're doing 11 cities in Ukraine and 1 city in Belarus. We'll be doing
the same kind of a concept?
Same kind of concept, okay. Yeah. It'll be free events over there. People can come and hear the gospel, and we'll be playing music. And so we're starting to raise money for that trip as well, because that's also very expensive to do.
Yeah, I would think so.
But the concept is if soon as we charge a ticket for this event, say it's $10, which is a cheap ticket, instantly what happens is it changes the dynamic of the people who come. Because you get a bunch of people who are already familiar with Kutless's music, and they're like, oh, wow, this is great, a $10 ticket, this is cheap, I'm going to go.
They'll play all the songs that I like.
Yeah,
That's the expectation.
Exactly, but you don't necessarily think, oh, well, I'm going to buy 10 tickets for my friends so I can bring all 10 of my friends who don't know the Lord, Okay. And so once it's free, it really takes that pressure off of where you can say, man, I want to bring everybody, and all these people that I know, I don't have to, because maybe one of your friends who is not a believer has never heard of our band or never heard of Christian music or listened to it. And so they're not necessarily going to be motivated to spend money for a ticket for a band that they don't know. But if you're like, man, this is an awesome professional concert at the amphitheater, it's going to be great, all you have to do is show up, it incentivizes people to bring the people that really need to be there. Because if those people don't show up, we're just having a Christian concert, right? Yeah. We need people that are not believers to come hear the gospel. That's the whole reason that this is free. So
I was going to say that is the motivation behind, because now it's not a preaching event necessarily, right? But you are incorporating who Christ is to you.
We'll be giving I guess you could say a formal opportunity to respond to the gospel, where we will, it'll be an altar call. We are changing some of the format, though, of the way that it's traditionally done, in that, when you think of like maybe the Billy Graham Crusades or Luis Palau, festival, generally they bring people down to the front, they walk forward, they stand in front of the stage, they pray a prayer, and then we usher them off to counselors to meet with them and get them plugged into local churches. We feel like that model is while really fantastic and worked really, really well for many years, we feel like there's some barriers there for young people, especially. We're really looking at millennials and that demographic and that age group, saying, man, a lot of them are probably not going to come forward, and even if they do come forward, they're not going to talk to a total stranger about this big decision they just made in their life. What they're comfortable in is technology and their cell phones and in their, in multimedia and those kinds of things. So what we're doing is having them actually respond. We give them a formal opportunity to pray a prayer of salvation. We ask them then to respond via a text message on their cell phone device. They'll get a link back to their cell phone that has this new app that we've been developing. That app is going to then try and use their common interests with other believers. So we're having a leadership meeting coming up here tomorrow, or tonight, I guess, actually. A leadership meeting coming up, and we'll be meeting, talking, getting the people that are in interested in discipleship and things like that, they're going to use their interests, and we're going to link their interests with the new believers' interests. So let's say you're into mountain biking or skiing at Mount Ashland or fishing on the Rogue River, whatever it is that you're interested in. We're going to link those people together via their common interests, and we're going to encourage the believers to say, hey, I'm going fishing on the Rogue today. Who wants to jump in with me? You know, I'm taking my drift boat down, and maybe grab 2 or 3 people that came in as new believers, and then we're going to instruct the believer who is kind of facilitating it, say, hey, here's some topics, some practical topics to cover that'll just apply to life, and here's some scriptures of how you can kind of walk these people through how the scriptures apply directly to their lives. And very natural environment, you know, because you're like, man, I love fishing, this is great, and but we're getting business done as far as discipling, and that's going to create a very natural then relationship. That then the next step to get into the local church is going to be very, because then it's just, hey, man, come to church with me on Sunday. You know, we've been fishing together, we've been talking about life. Like, the next step is to come to local church. So that's kind of the way that our approach is maybe a little bit different than what you've seen in the past. We're excited for it, though, and I really believe it's going to be effective with a demographic that's been traditionally really difficult to reach.
And last time we talked about it, you were working on the app. Now it's developed and completely functional?
Yeah, so
the bugs are out of it now?
We're in phase 1.
Okay.
You know, this whole project it's going to have a multi-phase, and it's going to continue to become more robust and even better.
And this is the first model, right? That you're taking this and then you're going to Belarus and you're also going to Ukraine. So this is really the test module.
It is. This is our pilot here. So we'll be getting the bugs out, but hopefully, I think that we've been putting a ton of work and planning into it. With Kutless, all the experience we've had, we've done many events. So I really believe we can do this well.
Jon Micah Sumrall and Kutless, along with Derek Miner and Jesse Lawson, starting it all out. If you want to put your name in the hat, and we'll choose some backstage pass people, go to our Facebook page at theDove. And otherwise, make sure you mark this down, Sunday night. And it starts at 7:30, but the gates are open at 6, so you can get there that early.
Yeah.
Jon Micah, I'm looking forward to this being a great event. Dove is going to have a booth out there, I think, so we'll just, you know, stop by and say howdy. And look forward to seeing you all this Sunday night, so be sure to join us. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us.